What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, Moody 46. We're back today with another video. Today we're gonna talk about something that's very irritating. Honestly, just like talking about this topic makes me really angry, and it's basically my biggest pet peeves when it comes to people's driving habits. So basically, things that drivers do that make me really angry. And there's a lot of them. So I'm gonna break this video down into two parts. The first part is gonna be me talking about my biggest pet peeves, and the second one is I asked people on my Instagram, my followers, what their biggest pet peeves are. So I'm just gonna read out their answers and we'll see what they say. Let's start off with my list. I have a couple of things here, and this is like not in any order. This is not like worst to best or best to worst, because they're all fucking bad. But there are some that are worse than others. We'll cover that when I'm going through it. Anyways, so the first one on my list here that is making me angry just looking at it is when two cars drive the same speed on two separate lanes. So like, I don't know why people do this. Like, I think the bottom line for why people do this one is just because they're inconsiderate as Let's say there's only two lanes and there's two cars in front of you and they're both driving the same speed. And it's like, for whatever reason, like they know you're trying to pass them, but they want to stay at the same speed. And it comes to a point where when they do it for long enough, I understand if you're driving behind them and for like 5 seconds they don't realize, but when it happens for more than 5 seconds, like there's something wrong. At this point, it's like either they hate you, both of them, or they're doing it on purpose because they know you want to pass, but they don't give a shit. Now, these people are going like a solid 50 or 60, whatever the speed limit is. Some of them are going like 5 kilometers below the speed limit or 10 kilometers below the speed limit, and they're still driving next to each other, and they don't care. Whoever does that, for me, is an absolute inconsiderate piece of shit, and you should go to jail for it. You should. It's not like they don't see you behind them. I don't know. It's like either they're completely oblivious to the fact, or they just want to like prove a point that, you know, they're going this speed, and now that they know you're trying to pass them, they're like, nah, we're not doing it. They somehow make like a signal agreement to the other person next to them, like, no, we're not moving. We're not gonna let this person pass. Even if they're dying or something, they need to go home and take a shit. You know, they're just late for work. They could just be late for work. Nah, it, we're not gonna let them pass. No, they're gonna have to go the same speed as us. Whoever does that, you. All right, the next one. I hate this one a lot. When someone throws their cigarette out in front of you and you're driving behind them. A lot of people smoke. I don't give a shit. What I hate is when people are in front of you and they toss a cigarette out and it hits your car. I hate it, especially on the highway. At least have the decency to, like, if you're gonna throw your cigarette out and you know you're at a speed where it's gonna hit the car behind you, can you just like switch lanes where there's nobody, or I don't know, wait until like you're at a stoplight or something and then just throw it out next to you or something. Like, just be a little bit more considerate to whoever's behind you. Especially, what I hate is especially like when I had my last car and it was wrapped and done up and stuff. Like, you could tell that person took some time to care for their car, to make it look good, and now you're just dashing a cigarette on their paint or on their wrap. Like, come on, buddy. You know, some of us like care about our shit. Even if it wasn't like a modded car, even if it wasn't anything that you could tell, just have some decency and throw that shit out, you know, somewhere else. It pisses me off. This is the most, this makes me like want to kill someone. And it's basically when a slow car drives on the left lane. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys can relate. The thing about the left lane is it's kind of universal. Anywhere you go, in whatever country, in whatever world, even if you're on Mars, the left lane is for passing. I don't give a shit what the speed limit is, okay? Now, some people in this world think that it's okay to be driving the speed limit, or actually even worse, under the speed limit on the passing lane, which is the left lane. And I strongly believe that whoever drives slow on the left lane, it comes down to two options. One, either you're very stupid, and I think this is it, or two, you're just completely oblivious to the fact that the left lane is for passing, and it's like you don't know, and that you just like you don't have common sense enough to know that the left lane is for passing, which goes back to you're stupid. So it's either you're very stupid or you have no clue how the world works. Whichever one of these two it is, can you please stop? Because I'm gonna make this very clear, and I'm gonna zoom in on my face when I say this. The left lane is for passing above the speed limit. So move over. Thank you very much. Okay? Like, this is not even a democracy. Like, no, not all lanes are equal. And then what makes it worse is that when someone is driving slow in the left lane or on the speed limit, and they can see you in the rear view mirror, like exactly, let's say the speed limit was 100 and they were driving 100 in the left lane, and they see you coming up and you're going like 120, 130, and they see you approaching them, and now you're like basically on their ass, and they still don't move over. They're just like, nah, f it. And no, it's okay because I'm driving the speed limit. Like, no, it is not okay. It's not okay to be driving the speed limit on the left lane. I'd understand if it's like 2, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever the f it is, and there's no one on the highway. Yeah, okay, pick and choose which lane you want. Even if I'm speeding, saying there's not many cars, okay, I'll do the work for you, and I'll move another lane and then pass you. No problem. But when you can see it's like, kind of like rush hour-ish, or like, you know, it's kind of busy on the highway, you can't really maneuver around too much, and you just want to pass, man. All you want to do is pass, and you're not letting that person pass. Like, you're a complete asshole, and you shouldn't have your license. Because at that point, when you know someone's behind you and they're trying to pass in the passing lane, and you don't let them and you don't move over, you're an inconsiderate piece of shit. Okay? Now, because the person's trying to pass you, he's probably tailgating you, and now because he's tailgating you, you're gonna try to prove a point that no, you're gonna stay in your lane. I know how you think. You're not very clever. Just move over. It's a left lane. Okay, next one. When someone cuts you off but ends up driving slow. Why? So let's say you're just kind of like minding your own business. You're in your lane, you know, you're driving, you're chilling, okay? And someone wants to cut you off, so they come in front of you, right? But all of a sudden, you're doing like, let's say you're doing like a solid 120, and they come in front of you and they brake. Why? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. I don't know either. I have no idea why. Like, at least cut me off and speed up, or just, you know, cut me off, come in front of me and go about your way. But no, you want to cut me off and then brake. And then you want me to go out of my way when I was chilling and brake too. And now for a manual driver, not only am I braking, I'm switching gears. So now you're not only just making me use my foot, you're making me use my hand too, when I was just minding my own business. Does that make any sense to you? Doesn't make sense to me. If you cut people off and slow down, you don't know how to drive, and you need to stop doing that. Alright guys, the next one on the list. Okay, this is something that is retarded, like every other one here. People that stay driving the same when you're trying to merge on the highway. So let me clarify this, because it might seem confusing. You're trying to merge on the highway, right? And there's this right lane on the highway where you merge onto. So now you're merging, you got your signal on, you're merging, there's cars coming. You got that one dumbass that doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care at all. At this point, you're like almost at the barrier. Like, you're almost gonna die. And that guy's probably just like looking at you like, oh, they're gonna die. Oh yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I'll just stay the same speed. I hate you. Whoever you are, I hate you so much. I would call people like that, serial killers. Or they don't care. Like, oh, yeah, this car's about to bang on the wall. It's just another day on the highway. Next on the list. I think I would put this one at the top of the list because it's a very dangerous thing that people do or people don't do. So for me, I think this is the worst thing on my list, and it's people that don't check their blind spots before changing lanes or taking a turn or anything. I absolutely hate people who do not check their blind spots. I personally check my blind spot every time I do something. It could be like 4 a.m. on the highway and just completely empty, just nobody, and I will still check my blind spot before I change lanes. Even if I'm 110% certain that there's no one in the next lane, I will still check my blind spot. Because what makes you a good driver is when you're alert and when you know your surroundings before you do something. Especially when it's a busy time of day and there's a bunch of cars around and you're on the highway. People sometimes assume like they just check their mirror and think it's enough, but no, you gotta check your blind spot, because some things in your mirror are not in your blind spot, okay? Especially how some cars are made, it won't show you shit. And this kind of like hits a little closer to my heart. It makes me very angry because as a rider, we literally are risking our lives just from the simple fact that you're not checking your blind spot before you change lanes, and then you're changing it onto us. We're not as visible, we have no metal around us, we've got no windshield, we've got nothing. The only windshield we have is a visor made out of plastic. So the least you could do especially in the summer or springtime, is to just check your blind spot before you change lanes. Actually, any fucking season, okay? And like I said, it can be 3 a.m., 4 a.m., bright as day. Even if it seems crystal clear to you, always check your blind spot. And I've had to literally, on the bike especially, I've had to change my lane for someone to change lanes into me because they didn't see me in their blind spot. And if I have to do that and put myself at risk, you shouldn't be driving on the road. So for the sake of other drivers on the road, and especially riders, please, for the love of God, check your blind spot. The last one on my list here is speeding tailgaters. I'm gonna clarify this. I don't care if people tailgate. I tailgate myself, especially if you're a slow-ass driver on the left lane. But a speeding tailgater, so he's speeding and he comes behind you, right? And mind you, you're not even going speed limit. You're going like 20 kilometers above. Like, let's say the speed limit's 100, you're going 120. And he's tailgating you because he wants you, for whatever reason, now to keep going faster. You're not even in the left lane. You're like minding your own business, chilling in like the middle lane, the right lane. And he's just behind you. And he just like continuously just tailgates you. Like he's just there on your ass, just chilling. I hate you. If you're tailgating me for more than 2 minutes, move. It's like they have the chance to go somewhere else, but they just don't. So they're just tailgating you. They're like, I don't know if people are just comfortable with driving really close to a car, or they're speeding, so like everyone else should be going the same speed as them. Like if they're going 160, then you should be going 160 with them. I don't know what it is. Like, what's the point of me just staying on your ass? Like, that just makes everyone uncomfortable in the room. Like, it makes me uncomfortable just having someone drive close to me behind me. Like, no, don't drive close to me. Drive further. So this is it for my list, guys. Those are my biggest pet peeves when it comes to people's driving habits on the road. I think I've covered mostly everything. I've probably definitely 100% missed some things, but I think those are the main things. I would say the top 2 on my list is, for safety reasons, more so the check your blind spot one, and just out of complete annoyance and disregard to others, the second top on my list is when slow cars drive on the left lane or in the passing lane. Now I'm gonna be listing people's responses, and I know some of these are probably gonna be repetitive, so I'm just gonna go over them quickly. So first one, keep their turn signals on for 73 years. I try to understand why people do that, and I honestly can't. I don't get it. If you have your turn signal on for years, that means you don't know that you have it on. But there's no possible way that you don't know that you have it on, because like, even if you're blasting music and you can't hear your signal, you can see it on your dash, unless you've got like a black cover on it and you don't even know what speed you're going, or like nothing, because that shit just confuses everybody. Like, you don't know if he's going straight, you don't know if he's been trying to change lanes, you don't know if he's just like, I don't know. It's confusing for everyone. Turn it off. It's annoying. Next response, driving 80 kilometers an hour in the passing/fast lane. We've already covered that. When someone makes a right turn and slows down right in front of you. Yeah, this is kind of like relating to what I said, when someone cuts you off and then slows down. 100%, same concept applies. Someone said hitting the brakes when going up a hill. That's actually so true, especially for a manual driver. It's so annoying. Not realizing that there's a car behind them in the fast lane. Slow in the left lane. Someone says when people don't use indicators. There's people that, for example, they're going straight and then they see like a road they want to take a right turn on, but they don't even let you know. They just slow down, slam on their brakes, and they try to make the turn, and you're right behind them because they don't want to signal. And even if you just signal like last minute, don't do that. Someone said my biggest pet peeve is when drivers dig for gold while driving. I've seen that so many times. Some people just don't give a shit. But yeah, that's kind of dirty. Someone said people who cut me off. People who start chasing after the ambulance right after it passes. Someone said the dumbass who makes a right turn from the second lane. People who drive slower than the speed limit for no reason. 100%. People who don't check their blind spots and just start changing lanes. Yes. People who weave in and out of traffic to just end up beside you again. Yo, that's actually the funniest shit. When someone's like weaving in and you could tell they're trying really hard to like speed through and make it somewhere, and then like you're just looking at them like 2 minutes later at the same light, and you're like, you're a fucking idiot. People who cut you off then give you the finger when you honk at them. It kind of just relates to like someone doing something stupid and then they get mad at you for getting mad at them and doing something stupid. Like, does that make any sense? No. Driving under the speed limit in the fast lane. People that don't speed the fuck up when merging. Be from Brampton. Whoever lives in on the GTA knows Brampton drivers are very special. A lot of accidents happen in Brampton for a reason. People who put their turn signals on last minute when waiting at a red light so I get stuck behind them. I hate that. Being obliviously slow in the fast lane. Yeah, they're not oblivious. They're just very retarded. Beamer drivers thinking they're on a F1 track. And okay, just because I drive a BMW, you don't need to just say Beamer drivers. Driving under the speed limit. Yep. People who sit in the left lane, move over. Yes, move over, guys. Uber Eats guys that pull out of a driveway at the last minute in front of you and then go into the very next driveway. This is such a special, unique pet peeve. People that always brake last second. People who press the brakes every 2 seconds, like just let go of the gas, dummy. Yeah. I hate people that continuously brake, especially on the highway. I hate it. Pisses me off so much. Why? Why do you brake every 2 seconds? And I find that people who do that are people that are like scared. They're like scared type of drivers and they just brake continuously. So if you have like some sort of like anxiety with that, like get off the road, you know? People who merge into the highway going 80 kilometers an hour. Yes, very annoying. People who drive slow in the fast lane. I think this is like the 30th person that said that. Double parked cars. There's genuinely people that like go into a spot and you can tell like they don't know how to park. So they kind of take up another spot or they park really close to one side rather than the other. I hate that. Someone said just people in general. Just people in general. Lane hogging and no indicators or blinkers for you Americans, LOL. That's very true. People who don't merge with the speed of traffic, sit in your blind spot, sit in the left lane, no signaling. 110%. I think you covered basically everything we talked about. Slow drivers in the zoom lane. Yeah. Oh, people that throw shit out of their window and hits your car. Wow, this is the first person that responded with that. Just like how people throw out their cigarettes. You're smart, buddy. 100%. Yes. We hate that. We don't want you to throw shit out when there's a car behind you. When people don't want to move up when turning left. Yep, so basically when someone's at a left turn lane and they're like in the intersection waiting to make a left but they don't move up and you're just kind of there behind them. After reading these responses, obviously the number one thing that people hate is people that drive slow in the left lane. I'm pretty sure we've covered everything. If there's anything that I've missed or a pet peeve that you guys have that wasn't mentioned, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, make sure to like and subscribe. Moody 46. Catch you guys later.